Welcome back to another episode of the Successful Driver Podcast here in the Clear Simple Used Truck Buying Studio. And super excited. Really, just this is a first for us here, Aaron. Something we're really excited to be doing, talking to someone out on the road right now, Alphonso Lewis.
Hey, glad to be here.
How you doing, my friend?
I am doing great. This is my off day, so I'm at home relaxing.
Yeah. Hey, well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking a little bit of your time here to spend some time talking to us because, that really means a lot. So, want to just, we start with this question, we just kind of want to know about your background in the trucking industry, how you've gotten to this point.
Okay. Well, I was inspired by my dad, like a lot of drivers are. My dad was a truck driver when I was young. We used to get the opportunity to ride along with him during the summer times when we were out of school. So that kind of what, inspired me. From there, out of high school, I went straight into the military. That's actually where I learned to become a professional truck driver. I was a light wheel vehicle mechanic, but, being a mechanic, you had to learn how to drive everything that was in the motor pool. So that's where it started. I still had that love for trucks. When I left the military, that's the first thing I went looking for was a job driving. My first job was actually in a moving company, and I was a helper at the time. But then I eventually got the opportunity to drive the truck. I moved from there, went to an over the road company. All that started in I think it was 88, 87, somewhere in that neighborhood. And after I was over the road for about a year, found a local job with an LTO company, and it's been going ever since.
So I always like to, we've asked, we've talked to a lot of different people in the industry. What's your favorite truck that you've drove in your life?
Volvo. I've always been partial to Volvos. So I love the Volvos, but I will say that that Mac Anthem that we drive now for the workforce program is pretty sweet.
Is that what you're driving right now?
Yes, that's the one we drive with the workforce. That's actually got the digital wrap, the military wrap on it, and it's a nice ride. I had the opportunity last year for me, the co-driver, to bring it all the way from California, from Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas, I'm sorry. I think it was LA last year, all the way back to Montgomery, Alabama. So it was a nice ride.
That's awesome. So one of the ways we were able to get connected is your involvement with Workforce Heroes and the ATA. Just how did you, find out about it? How did you get into that? What's your story with regard to that?
Well, like I said, I'm a prior military personnel. I was in the United States Army for 6 years. Being part of the road team when I actually become part of the team in 2011, the Workforce Heroes program was something that they were starting to develop. And so I was there when it was starting to be developed into a program. And I know they initially asked the military personnel who had prior military experience to be more interested in it and to learn more about it and to be, become more involved in it. And, you actually get the chance to go out to military bases, visit them, and trying to recruit them into the trucking industry. So I just think it was a perfect move to move someone who's with the Trucking Association to move into that Heroes program, to go back and talk to military personnel to try to get them into our industry.
So how has that affected your life, being a part of that program?
Oh, I love it. My wife says, she says, anytime they call me, I'm almost usually always there to respond, to whatever event they ask me for. Sometimes it doesn't work out quite that way, but the majority of the time it's just something I love to do.
That's awesome. That's really great, man. And I want to make sure we say thank you for your service, sir. We really appreciate you.
Well, it was my pleasure.
Yeah, no, we're super grateful for you and all you've done to help keep this country moving and keep this country safe over the course of your life, for sure. And you've got a lot of we really appreciate that, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we always ask this question, and we love to know this. And you've got a lot of experience out on the road. What do you think makes a successful driver?
First thing I always tell a lot of young drivers, patience. Patience is the biggest thing for being a professional truck driver. Patience wanting to be the best at your profession. Safety is top notch. To do all those things, you got to have patience. You got to have the ability to continue to learn, to understand what you're doing when you're in the truck, to always be alert, and just be aware of everything that's going on around you. Being dependable, being able to accomplish your tasks. The majority of the time you get in that truck, we got the freight on the trailer, and it's our job to move from point A to point B, and to accomplish what we're supposed to be doing. And as an individual, that's something you have to be able to do in a truck.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, this has been a weird couple of years, in our country. It's been a weird couple of years in the trucking industry. What have you kind of noticed, and how have things changed from your perspective out on the road with, regard to COVID, supply chain, all that stuff?
Wow. What I noticed from the beginning is when things started to shut down, it was the interaction between the drivers and the customers. They had a separation. There's more of a separation as far as the interaction part with the driver. But then eventually what happened is that they realized how important that professional drivers were. When the grocery stores, we all know when the stores became empty, you always saw the trucks that continued to move. You always saw that driver. For that truck to move, you always saw that driver behind the wheel. So one thing I realized, one day I was driving and I was on the highway and I was stopped at the traffic light. And just out of the blue, a lady's blowing a horn at me beside me. And then I wind my window down and I look at her and she said, she just told me she wanted to appreciate what I do, of what we do out here. Because, we're the ones who are keeping America moving.
Absolutely. 100%. That's a phrase we've used a lot is, truckers keep America moving for sure. And, no truck drivers, no toilet paper.
Exactly.
We have a t-shirt, that we hand out, and it says, "You bought it, I brought it." And
Exactly.
we hand that out to a lot of our truck drivers out there that buy trucks from us at Aero, because, we know that this can be a really thankless job. And it's really been awesome to see the level of appreciation that people have had for truck drivers. And it's, I think it can be very lonely at times out there for y'all, and getting some level of recognition, I think, has just been such a cool byproduct of the kind of work ethic people that are a part of this wonderful industry.
Yeah, it's great, especially, your family already appreciates what you do and they know what you do. But then, just to see the general public, show appreciation for what you do, and even seeing the shippers and the consignees that, show more and more appreciation for what you do. And then even it goes back to your company, same thing. There's a higher level of appreciation for what we do on a daily basis.
What would you, one more question before I get you out of here, just what kind of advice would you give for a young truck driver, a guy considering joining the trucking industry? What kind of advice do you have for someone just starting?
Yeah, they have to realize that this industry is really made for almost anybody. It's easier to get in it as far as being a professional driver, because they will teach you what you need to know, and it will actually get out there and work with you and help you along the way. If you don't want to be a driver, you can come in and be a mechanic. You can come in and be a manager. You can come in and be a salesman, or there's a variety of positions in the trucking industry. It's not just for drivers. I mean, we can reach out to anybody to do anything within the trucking industry. So we need young people to get more involved. We need them early on to get them into this industry. Because it's just like I always see that old saying in the military, Afghanistan, so we need you. We look at young people these days, and we're holding our hands out to them and let them know, that we need you.
Well, that was wonderful stuff. And it's an honor to speak with you, Alphonso. I was really appreciative of all you've done in your lifetime, whether it be serving our country in the military or serving our country out on the road. Genuinely appreciative of you. And it's been wonderful to get to talk to you today.
All right. Thank you.
That is another episode of the Successful Driver Podcast. Thank you again to Alphonso Lewis out at Yellow Trucking in Montgomery, Alabama. An honor to speak to him. We'll talk to you later.